Tonight on News 5 Live, a 73-year-old businessman is shot multiple times in Santa Elena. Mervyn Domingo is charged for crashing into the Philip Golson bust. Boots is back. The former Port Loyola area rep says it's over for Gilroy Usher Sr. And in tonight's episode of Belize on Real, from troubled youth to reformed soldier. These stories and more coming up on News 5 Live.
Pull up. One of my last feet, right? Well, I hope I'm not ready, because the next big thing, the ya. It here? Yo, brother, the next big thing, the ya. Hope I'm not ready. The big thing to come. My last feet, right? Well, I hope I'm not ready, because the next big thing, the ya. Well, I hope you're ready, because the next big thing is coming. Never worry about it. One of my last feet, right? It here now. Hope you're ready, brother. Unlimited experience there. You are never around to do that again. Let's go. Porque ya está aquí. Unlimited is unlimited.
Belize, get ready to experience the tech event of the year. Cellular World presents its very first nationwide Expo 2023. Celebrate Belize in style and gear up for massive savings on all your favorite tech brands wherever you're located in Belize. Mark your calendars from September 14th to the 16th. Stop by our store for our Grand Expo in-store sale. But that's not all. We're taking the Expo excitement to every corner of Belize, making it a true nationwide expo. Visit our booth at Expo 2023 at the Marian Jones on September 16th and 17th. Enjoy Expo on the island at our San Pedro store on September 17th. And our Norteños, we're coming to Orange Walk and Corzal on September 22nd and 23rd. On September 29th and 30th, we're heading down south to PG and Dangriga. Yes, you heard right. No matter where you are, the same incredible expo deals at your fingertips. From north to south and east to west, Cellular World nationwide expo deals will be the best.
Atlantic Insurance informs our valued customers and the general public that effective September 18th, 2023, our corporate headquarters and Belcan branch will be moving. Our new location, the Atlantic Insurance Tower, located at 2.5 miles Philip Wilson Highway. All our phone numbers will remain the same. Our Colette and Albert branches will remain at their existing locations. Join the Atlantic Insurance family today and experience the future of insurance. Atlantic Insurance, insuring you from life's unexpected.
Babe, have you seen the advisory that NEMA just posted? There's going to be a storm.
Storm? It's not a storm. That's just a little rain. We'll be all right.
Thank goodness that was only a simulation. But what if it wasn't? Consider this. You've worked hard building your future, your family, your business, your home. RF&G Insurance has policy options that can protect your most valued assets so that you can focus on what matters most. Include RF&G Insurance in your hurricane prep. Remember, it pays to get it right with RF&G Insurance, a Road Group company.
Bicycle, bicycle. I want to ride my bicycle, bicycle. The Cycling Federation of Belize and the Belize Tourism Board invites you to come out for the high-speed, fast-cornering crit racing. It's the September Criterium Classic on Sunday, September 17th, starting at 10 a.m. The start and finish line will be in front of BTB's office on Regent Street, and the race circuit will be laps around Albert and Regent Streets. Races start with all the kids groups at 10 a.m., followed by high school boys and girls, then women elite, club masters, then junior and youth, and last but definitely not least, the spectacular primetime race with the elite men. You don't want to miss this. There will be thousands of dollars in prize giveaways to the winners, medals, trophies, and cash. He gets something, she gets something, and they get something. Food and drinks will be on sale, so come out and support the cyclists on Sunday, September 17th, starting at 10 a.m. outside the BTB office on Regent Street, or catch it live on the Cycling Federation's Facebook pages. In partnership with the Belize Tourism Board, the Cycling Federation of Belize wants to know, Belize, are you ready?
Belize, who will walk away with the $20,000 cash plus bragging rights in the National Song Competition? Friday, September 15th at the Bliss Center, 8 p.m. sharp. Bring your rags, flags, whistles, and come ready to party and cheer on your favorite artist to win the $20,000 cash. Who will it be? Marilyn Vanson, Coconut Boy, Sam Harris,
Then we call it sweet, sweet, sweet Billy.
Nello Player,
When I say that Billy's the greatest,
Denzel Charlie,
wave your flag and jump up, raise your flag and wind up.
Tyrone Usher,
Billy's we born, yes, Billy's we grow. Spin me marble, swing me yo-yo.
Echo Milton,
Come on, come right now, just come to Billy's and join for we festive.
Sharon Martinez,
Belize, the stuffy with Belize, national heritage.
backed up by their live band. Get your tickets at the Bliss Center. Reserve 20, General 10, and Kids 5 to see who will be the National Song Competition champ and walk away with $20,000 cash. Friday, September 15th at 8 p.m. Sponsored by Niche, through its Institute of Creative Arts and the National Celebrations Commission, and the Honorable Francis Fonseca.
My beautiful Belize, my land of the free, my home and it's bound by the Caribbean Sea. Belize, we are free and independent, we're free and independent, free and independent, to be whatever you wanna be. Free and independent, we're free and independent, free and independent, we're changing our country, we're free. So make we celebrate with smart, come celebrate with smart, make we celebrate with smart. Let's celebrate with smart. So make we celebrate with smart. Come celebrate with smart. Make we celebrate with smart. Let's celebrate with smart.
The entire Smart family wishes all Belizeans a safe and happy September celebration. Smart, bringing people together.
Good evening and welcome to News 5 Live for Thursday, September 14th. I am Sabrina Daly. Anthony Boots Martinez represented the constituents of Port Loyola for several terms in the National Assembly. Tonight, he is a man on a mission, intent on ousting his political successor from office. On Wednesday, Gilroy Usher Sr. issued a statement in which he said that a recall petition led by Martinez failed to meet the minimum number of signatures necessary to trigger a recall mechanism that would ultimately see Usher's office being challenged. The release goes on to say, quote, Now that the residents of Port Loyola have soundly rejected the recall petition of Boots Martinez against Honorable Gilroy Usher and the PUP Port Loyola Committee invite Boots Martinez and his few supporters to join their efforts, end quote. But Martinez says not so fast. It's not over. News 5's Isani Cayetano reports.
Former area representative Anthony Boots Martinez is back to his old antics, complete with a spanking new theme song for his ongoing campaign. Despite the humor and seeming lightheartedness of his approach, Martinez is relentless in his attempt to unseat his successor in Port Loyola. Having defeated Gilroy Usher Sr. twice before losing miserably to Anthony Mahler in another constituency during the last general elections, he is once again canvassing his old stomping grounds for signatures.
The Prime Minister, in his own words, labeled Gilroy Usher, the Honorable Gilroy Usher, as very confused. He put it casually, and in my view, I will be honest with you, that is the most dunceest representative I ever seen in the National Assembly. I want to be honest with you. You're a lawmaker, sir. How you want to take a victory lap on something that you have no control over?
On Wednesday, the incumbent Port Loyola area representative issued a release stating that Martinez's petition failed to meet the minimum threshold, 10% of signatures from the total registered voters in that constituency.
As a former member of the National Assembly, we are lawmakers, and you are telling me simple thing like what law will affect you or no affect you, you no read, sir. Something is wrong with you. You see, this recall petition here is more powerful than a national referendum, because a national referendum is not binding by law. This specific recall referendum is binding by law once you reach all the necessary threshold.
Since we last spoke with him on July 12th, Boots has been busy collecting the signed names of as many registered constituents. Today, he provided an update on that campaign, but stopped short of presenting the actual numbers.
We have reached the threshold a little over what we believe to be the threshold. But because of the misinformation and because of certain things happening in the constituency, we have decided to move forward until we get at least 50% of the constituency. To start with, Mr. Usher, I don't know who prepared him with the statement, because I don't know if you don't understand the law. If you are saying in your statement that Port Loyola exists with over 5,000 residents, and the petition failed to gather 1,500 signatures, then to start with, you're wrong, because if the constituency have 5,001 registered voter, the threshold will be 1,501.
As members of the United Democratic Party, one would have thought that Martinez and UDP standard bearer Philip Willoughby would have formed an alliance to recall Usher in Port Loyola. But that's not the case. Instead, Boots has choice words for his colleague.
I will not. My mandate is not to collaborate with Mr. Willoughby. I met with him a couple times. But my mandate for the people is to learn to recall the petition, and then we will see for both on that. Man, you are the official standard bearer for the United Democratic Party. You no see one light, yes, sir? You no see one light? Well, now, guess where they're going to know? You and Mr. Usher, one, they do a whole victory lap, you, they do half a lap. So they must hug up one another and ball, because that, definitely the first stage will be initiated when the people are Port Loyola ready.
Contrary to what Usher put out in his statement, Martinez is confident that the area rep will be recalled.
I'm sorry for the poor lady who got to Gilroy Usher and said, give me one hand, help me with school. And Gilroy Usher said to that lady, you know what happened? I have to wait for the result. I can't do nothing for nobody because I have to wait for the result of the paper when Mr. Boat have people sign. The lady came here and he asked me what is the paper about, and I explained to the lady it's about a recall petition. When the lady signed immediately, he said, make you get the result quick and fast. So I'm sorry I even delayed the lady that the result not come because it's not been submitted to the Governor General yet.
Reporting for News 5, I am Isani Cayetano.
An elderly man is hospitalized tonight after he was attacked by a gunman in Santa Elena town. Just after 2 a.m., 73-year-old Natalio Castaneda was at his home on Carmen Street, preparing to head over to his tortilla factory when he was approached by two men, one of whom fired several shots in his direction. The men then fled the scene. The incident has left the family in shock as they ask why anyone would want to target Castaneda. The incident has also left some residents in the area fearful as police try to ascertain the motive. News 5's Paul Lopez reports.
Just after 2 a.m., 73-year-old Natalio Castaneda was outside his home on Carmen Street in Santa Elena town when he was ambushed by a lone gunman. The assailant fired several shots in his direction before fleeing the scene, leaving Castaneda with multiple gunshot injuries. His wife, Luciana Castaneda, spoke with us off camera.
He got up early, right? He was working in the kitchen. I heard the parts, but I did not get up. So afterwards, he get out. I did not hear he get out. So usually I hear, but sometimes, like this morning, I didn't hear he get up. So just when I hear bullets, right, I heard about 4 bullets, pam, 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 one behind the other, without stopping. So that's what I recall, right? But I don't know.
A neighbor also heard the gunshots. He was awakened by the noise.
This is like a normal thing every day. You know, you hear with neighbor and get up and start to prepare for the work timing, you know. So it's like 2:30, then go service and truck, you know. And it look like the same time then ballet then pull up. I don't know, and I just see my barrage a bullet. You know, and
how much gunshot you hear?
About 6 or 7, I'd say. Hard to that wake me up then, shake. But you know that like I tell them people when in service a vehicle, you know, they slam up them bonnet. At the time we get up to.
Natalio Castaneda owns NL's Tortilla Factory, which is located on George Price Avenue in Santa Elena town, only a stone's throw away from where he resides. According to his wife, he routinely starts his day at around 2 a.m. to prepare for the work ahead inside the factory. This morning, when the shots rang out, she quickly sprung out of her bed.
When I peeped through the window, I see the window open, so I peeped through the window and I saw my husband on the ground and my brother close to him. So I said, well, my mind was not thinking that he was shot because sometimes things happen in front of my house, right? And I will hear they will have some quarrel and things like that. Well, I'm thinking that, but when I peep on the window, I see my husband on the floor, on the ground. So I said, Dad, and he answered me, everything is okay. So I hurry on down, right, because the lady upstairs, so I hurry on down. And then I said, Dad. He didn't answer me again, so at the same time, my granddad come out, and he saw his grandfather there. So by then the neighbor come, right, came here, and then he said, what happened, sis? I tell her, well, sis, look at this. So they took him, she went and get her husband, so they took him to the hospital, right, at the community hospital, San Ignacio Hospital. So that's what happened.
The neighbor who was awoken by the sound of gunshots says this is the first time he has seen an occurrence like this on Carmen Street. He says the incident has left him and his elderly father fearful.
They make her feel scared now because then you can't trust now because, you know, my old man the right time, you don't know what happened to him, and then people ain't got dog, but I don't know what happened to the dog. They make the dog they never bark because they got like 2 or 3 dogs over there. I may expect, you hear something. Well, we dog, once somebody jump the gate here and start a bark check.
So you have to get your guard up more now.
Yeah, man, correct. I don't know if that must have people, I don't know if they're surround us or what do that, but, somebody will to watch out.
According to police, Castaneda was transported to the Western Regional Hospital in a stable condition. His wife says this is not the first time he has been targeted by gunmen over the course of the last 4 decades.
We had the first experience, it was at BSI. He used to work at BSI first, right? So 3 masked men came out from the bush, and they saw him. They saw the 3 masked men come out from the bush, and he told the driver, step on the. So by then they start to shoot, right? Thank God, nothing happened. We came here and we started the tortilla mill, and then afterwards, about 10 years ago, he had another experience. When he came, about 8 o'clock that day, he said, you know what? They shot me. I tell him, boy, stop, said things like that. He said, no, for true, then shot me. So he said, come. So I went where he was sitting at the step. I tell him, but I don't see nothing. He said, no, they said, they don't report it already. I tell him, well, go report it. He said, I don't go to the police station already. They don't know about it. But thank God, nothing happened.
Reporting for News 5, I am Paul Lopez.
The taxi operator responsible for toppling and damaging the bust of Belizean national hero Philip Golson when he collided into the monument on Saturday morning has been charged for driving a motor vehicle without due care and attention. 34-year-old Mervyn Domingo has also been charged for driving a motor vehicle with alcohol concentration above the prescribed limit. Earlier today, Domingo appeared unrepresented in the lower courts, where he was read 2 traffic offenses. Shortly before the Carnival Juve got underway on September 9th, Domingo was driving a minivan in the vicinity of the Freetown Road roundabout when he crashed into a statue adjacent to the traffic circle near Mile 1 on the Philip Golson Highway. The accident caused significant damages to the bust. But if Domingo's name sounds familiar, it is because he was charged back in October of last year for discharging a firearm in public. That incident took place in front of Thirsty Thursday's nightclub. At his arraignment for that offense, Domingo admitted to firing a 9mm handgun. The weapon was reportedly taken away from him and he was taken home. An investigation later revealed that Police Constable Herman Ramos took possession of the firearm when he removed it from the vehicle that was later located at Domingo's residence. In respect of his most recent offense, Domingo pleaded not guilty to both charges and was offered bail in the sum of $600. As we reported on Wednesday, the damaged bust of Philip Golson has since been removed from its location by the Ministry of Infrastructure Development and Housing and taken to Ladyville, where it will be repaired and reinstalled. A resident of Police Street who is presently on remand for a murder committed in 2022 has been found guilty of aggravated assault with a firearm upon a police officer. Earl Baptist was convicted of the offense upon Police Constable Darrell Myers. When he appeared without counsel in the magistrate's court earlier today, Baptist chose to remain silent and did not respond to the allegation that he pointed a firearm at PC Myers following a shooting incident on July 29, 2021. Since Baptist is a first-time offender for the crime of aggravated assault, he was fined $1,000 or, in default, 1 year in prison. Baptist, however, is presently on pre-trial detention for the murder of Leslie Gillett, which occurred in Borrelboom Village on January 21, 2022. 24-year-old Kevon Middleton, a barber of Cesar Ridge Road, remains at the Belize Central Prison awaiting bail. That's because he was arraigned on July 10th on several criminal offenses, including attempted murder, wounding, and use of deadly means of harm upon security guard Kelvin Todd. When Middleton appeared before a senior magistrate today, he learned that while the law allows the court to grant bail for other matters that are not serious, in his case, bail is not automatic after 90 days on remand. He was subsequently advised to make an application to the High Court. Today makes 2 months and 4 days since Middleton was taken into custody after he allegedly made an attempt on the life of the security guard. Kevon Middleton is scheduled to return to court on October 19th. There's more news after the break, so don't go away.
Guinness Sounds of Greatness presents the 9th Annual Soca and Culture Fest, Wednesday, September 20th at the Belize Civic Center. The Caribbean Queen of Soca, Patrice Roberts, with her band.
I go drink water and mind my business.
Meets the King of Dancehall, Beanie Man, with his band.
Who got the keys to my about road?
Wednesday, September 20th at the Belize Civic Center. Patrice Roberts meets Beanie Man. Sponsored by
Looking for a great way to explore the beauty of Belize this weekend? Caribbean Sprinter is the fastest water transport for your perfect island hopping experience. Spend less time waiting and more time enjoying. Book your tickets now online at sprinter.bz.
Mr. David Gegg and Mr. Gulab Sharma are the owners of Portico. Mr. Gegg was almost jailed for not paying taxes.
Gegg's company, it is alleged, owes almost $250,000.
And Mr. Gulab's company was busted importing $1 million worth of fake Air Jordans. Gegg and Gulab say they will build a US $350 million magical port near Gales Point. Prime Minister John Briceño and his minister Chris Coyi believe them. Do you?
Get ready for fantastic discounts from now through to September 30th. Venice is having store-wide discounts on tools, paints, appliances, plumbing and electrical products, lights and fans, household items, and much, much more. Visit a Venice store near you to enjoy fantastic discounts from now through to September 30th. Only at Venice. Quality and savings.
Prime Minister John Briceño, you know that in April your Customs Department destroyed 2 containers of fake, illegal Nike Air Jordans valued at $1 million. You know those containers were consigned to a company owned by Mr. Gulab Sharma. You know that this is now on the radar of the United States government. You also know that Gulab Sharma's company, Portico, signed an illegal and fraudulent definitive agreement with Minister Erwin Contreras. Yet you and Chris Koyi are hell-bent on passing a special law that will give Gulab Sharma's company Portico tens of millions in tax benefits. Why, Prime Minister? If you won't explain it to the Belizean people, maybe you'll explain it to the Senate committee.
Returning to the latest political developments, credible information to News 5 is that Belize City Mayor Bernard Wagner has been endorsed by the People's United Party as its mayoral candidate in Belize City for the 2024 municipal election. As we have reported, Mayor Wagner publicly announced that he would not contest the seat if it were to go to a party convention. His deputy mayor, Alan Pollard, is among those that have submitted an application to contest the PUP's mayoral seat. But with an endorsement for Mayor Wagner, are all those other applications dead in the water? Today we asked the mayor about it when we caught up with him in Belize City, and he simply told us that he has not received anything official in writing as yet.
Sir, are you able to confirm whether you've been endorsed by the party? We understand that that decision has been made to endorse you as the mayor for the upcoming municipal elections.
But a lot of good news I know hear about it, and I know get nothing in writing as yet. So, but I remain optimistic, and come what may be, will be. Huh?
Sir, no, not to force the party's hand, given that you said that you weren't going to a convention.
No, not really. I don't force anyone's hand. I never have no gun at nobody head. I give them my terms and my condition, which is my right.
No, nothing official, but have you heard?
I have not heard anything official, so I can't even confirm my good friend here confirmation on that.
The Belize National Teachers Union Benque Viejo branch says that its members have agreed not to host the town's school parade tomorrow, as scheduled by the Ministry of Education. The BNTU Benque branch contends that September 15th coincides with Guatemala's Independence Day. In a letter to principals and local managers of the town, branch president Andrew Arnold wrote, quote, "Given the sensitivity of this matter, it is in the best interest of our community and our members to continue the tradition of parading on the 20th of September. This decision is not intended to offend or disrespect the role of MOE planning," end quote. Well, this decision is not sitting well with the Minister of Education, Francis Fonseca, who says one has nothing to do with the other. According to Fonseca, there will be consequences.
It's very regrettable. It's disappointing. I understand the BNTU executive that made this decision was just sworn in yesterday. These are people who have worked to undermine the outgoing president. I view it as mischief, political mischief. I won't mince words. It's political mischief. One of the key activists in the BNTU working on this matter is her husband is running for mayor for the UDP. So I don't want to mince words. I'm not, they have every right to do what they want, but I want the Belizean people to understand what is happening. What better way, if it's Guatemala's Independence Day, what better way of ensuring that you are sending a very clear, strong signal that we are proud to be Belizeans, we are Belizeans. What does that have to do with Guatemala's Independence Day? In fact, the message would be even louder and clearer on that day to send a clear signal to everybody in your community, waving your Belizean flags, children waving their flags, singing the Belizean national anthem, saying the national prayer of Belize on that day, and saying proudly, we are Belizeans and we are not afraid of anybody else, and we're not worried about Guatemala's Independence Day. So I think it's wrong-headed. It's, in my view, a very irresponsible decision, and they have absolutely no authority to send out any release to the schools in that community saying that they are going to do what they want to do. There will be consequences for that.
Is that to say then that the program is still on schedule for the other schools according to the MOE?
Yes, that is the case. The program is still on schedule, and that has not changed.
As the chairman of the National Celebrations Commission, we also asked Minister Fonseca for his thoughts on rethinking the way in which the annual Carnival Road March is executed. This year saw a lot of disgruntled onlookers, disenchanted by the outbreaks of violent behavior and disrespect for revelers. Here is what Minister Fonseca had to say.
No, I think the Carnival Road March is here to stay. But certainly, I think we have to review and reevaluate the way we do it. You know, this year there were some complications because the Ministry of Infrastructure had advised that they couldn't use the Belcan Bridge, right? So I think, you know, we've discussed that already, and I think we're going to have a special subcommittee of the National Celebrations Commission deal specifically with Carnival and work along with the Carnival Association. So we'll establish that, and we'll bring in some other stakeholders and voices who have expressed ideas, who have good recommendations and ideas. So I think we can resolve some of these issues. The police have a difficult job. When you think about the Carnival, you know, I saw it there on BMN. People were sitting there for literally 4 hours drinking. That's the nature of these things, whether you like it or not. So by the time the Carnival rolls around BMN, you know, you have a lot of people who are hyped, to be diplomatic, right? Real hyped. And so it's you know, I don't envy the police. That's a difficult task to deal with. They want to be balanced, you know, they want people to celebrate and enjoy the Carnival, but at the same time, you know, we can't allow a few individuals to destroy the beauty and spirit and energy of Carnival for everybody else. So we're going to take a very hard look. The police are a part of the commission, the BDF, everybody's a part of the commission. We're going to work with them to make sure that we address these issues that arose this year.
After the break, from troubled youth to proud soldier. We'll tell you about that. But first, here's the weather update with data from the Belize Met Service.
Come party at the all-white Big People Party. The Big People Party will take place on September 15th inside the Travelers One Barrel Bar, with musical performances from Gil Harry 7 and Stone Jam Sounds. You could get your tickets at Pink Boutique, the T-Shirt Factory, and Pick and Wear. Don't miss your chance to get our early deals on tickets at only $35 and $45 at the door. Come and enjoy a Big People Party at Travelers.
Mr. David Gegg and Mr. Gulab Sharma are the owners of Portico. Mr. Gegg was almost jailed for not paying taxes.
Gegg's company, it is alleged, owes almost $250,000.
And Mr. Gulab's company was busted importing $1 million worth of fake Air Jordans. Gegg and Gulab say they will build a US $350 million magical port near Gales Point. Prime Minister John Briceño and his minister Chris Coyi believe them. Do you?
Get out and explore this weekend with Caribbean Sprinter. With our ferries, you'll get to San Pedro, Belize City, and Key Cocker faster and smarter. Visit Caribbean Sprinter online at sprinter.bz.
My Social Security. Your direct online access to all your Social Security information. 360 view of all your Social Security information. Registration services, benefits, contributions, and employer services at your fingertips. Enjoy all the new features with your My Social Security account. Register with SSB. Submission of benefit claims. Submission of contribution statements. View contribution record. Enjoy all your My Social Security feature at ssbportal.org.bz. Social Security at your fingertips.
Prime Minister John Briceño, you know that in April your Customs Department destroyed 2 containers of fake, illegal Nike Air Jordans valued at $1 million. You know those containers were consigned to a company owned by Mr. Gulab Sharma. You know that this is now on the radar of the United States government. You also know that Gulab Sharma's company, Portico, signed an illegal and fraudulent definitive agreement with Minister Erwin Contreras. Yet you and Chris Koyi are hell-bent on passing a special law that will give Gulab Sharma's company Portico tens of millions in tax benefits. Why, Prime Minister? If you won't explain it to the Belizean people, maybe you'll explain it to the Senate committee.
Many a youth can relate to the troubled past that the subject of our next story has been through. In fact, many of them are still living a life of denial, delinquency, and even crime, and never get to, or refuse to, make a change for the better. But this one young man stands as a testament for the ones who have, and the hundreds more who can reform their lives and become a person of dignity and respect. This story is about 20-year-old Delrick Sankey, Private Delrick Sankey. He is one of the Belize Defense Force's newest additions following last Friday's passing out of Squad 66. Sankey shared with us how he hit rock bottom upon learning as a child that his father had been killed in 2005 by gun violence. For years, he lived in denial and resistance, which robbed him of the chance to attend secondary school. He spent time at the former Princess Royal Youth Hostel and the Wagner's Youth Facility. He was enlisted in the National Youth Cadet Program at Mile 21 on the George Price Highway, from which he graduated in 2019. And as is the spirit of anyone who wants to improve their situation, Sankey enrolled in the BDF's recruit training to aspire to become a soldier. Today, he is standing soldier to soldier with rank and file of the military, having successfully passed out of the rigorous training last Friday. News 5's Marian Ali reports. Shoulder to shoulder.
The loss of my father really hurt me, because at the age of 1 and 9 months, I don't even really got to know him, so it's just, I try not to think about it all the time.
Derek Sankey Jr. is one of many youths who have lost a loved one to crime and violence. He lost his father in the formative years of his life when he was still a toddler. That loss of a face and presence he was already used to every day had an effect on him as a child, and particularly as a teen.
I slack up, do my own thing, not at home, their friends do the wrong thing. But the beauty about me, I never get caught, I did never been incarcerated for anything, for no criminal offense.
Sankey said he decided that he needed to change his perspective and direction in life. While at the Princess Royal Youth Hostel some years ago, he enlisted in the Department of Youth Services Youth Cadet Program.
The first thing you know as you wake, you spread a bed, you urinate, and you put on attendance for the physical training. Then after that, you come back bathe and get ready for the day's activities, so everything just blends in normally after a period of time. I came into the program with some ecocentric behaviors, you know, not wanting to listen and having my own way, but when I realized this is my only chance to step up in life, I had to slow down and do the right thing.
Sergeant Brenton Martinez was Sankey's platoon sergeant during the Belize Youth Challenge. He told us that Sankey displayed a level of intelligence and potential that gave them hope.
We all knew Sankey was an astute individual, and Sankey came to the program with a desire to learn, and that's what he did, and he also excelled within the program. We try to uplift each individual for them to be productive citizens of today's society. And Derek Sankey went through all those challenges. He accepted the challenge. He excelled in physical, emotional, and also with the military skills.
Sankey excelled in the program and had an opportunity to address his fellow graduates back in June of 2019.
Graduates, you're all destined for greatness. Each and every one of us has potential to change the world. We have all grown into powerful, intellectual individuals who will make a massive footprint on this earth.
Still on the path to reform, Sankey enrolled in the Belize Defense Forces recruit intake number 66 earlier this year. It was an enlistment that paid off for him last Friday when he graduated as a private soldier. Now, at the age of 20, he feels that the time has come to make that mark in his life and his career.
I want to serve my country the best way possible, so I'm seeking to join the Special Forces of Belize, you know, Special Operation Task Force, yes, and I will achieve that.
It's this type of ambition that the Youth Cadet program tries to instill in the youths who are admitted.
That's the aim, you know. We want to save as much youths in Belize City, especially. So we're very proud of the moment, and we want to continue this trend. We try our best to let these personnel become from troublesome past to now become productive citizens in today's society.
But there are still a few minor sacrifices that Sankey has to make as a soldier. He jokingly shared that the new diet is one of them, but it has helped him to become physically fit.
The diet, the eating, I came in very big, over 200 pounds, Right here, 185, 190 there about, so that's the only thing that I find kind of challenging, because now and again you want that little snack, but you can't get it. Can't get it at training company. No. Okay. Can't get it.
So what do you do?
I just improvise. I drink a lot of water that fills in the gap.
On a more serious note, having made a complete turnaround, this new soldier says his experiences on the opposite sides of discipline are a constant reminder of where he needs to be.
It's good to be at zero and know how zero feels like, and then come to 100 and know what 100 feel like, to not go back to the zero. If you remain focused and you do good will come. And I'm the living proof that good will come.
Reporting for News 5, I'm Marian Ali.
When we return, new initiative to develop conservation agenda for Belize's blue space.
Taking its name from the venerable father of the nation, the George Price Highway stretches 77 miles from Belize City to Benqueviejo. Originally built in the 1930s, this cross-country highway system is the artery that links Belize to Central America at the western border with Guatemala. That connection facilitates overland trade, supporting Belize's economic development. Winding its way across the scenic countryside, The George Price Highway from Roaring Creek to Esperanza has been fully reconstructed to meet international standards, with particular emphasis on road safety. A shorter and hassle-free commute is best enjoyed when everyone obeys the traffic laws. To reduce the number and frequency of road traffic accidents, it means that a seatbelt must be worn at all times and the speed limit observed when traveling along the highway. It also means that pedestrians must use sidewalks and crosswalks where available. Buses should only board and discharge passengers at a designated bus stop. Road safety is everyone's responsibility. It begins with you.
Looking for a great way to explore the beauty of Belize this weekend? Caribbean Sprinter is the fastest water transport for your perfect island hopping experience. Spend less time waiting and more time enjoying. Book your tickets now online at sprinter.bz.
Oh, hey guys. What am I watching? I'm watching Next Gen TV. What is Next Gen TV, you might ask? Next Gen TV is my go-to for finding a new obsession to keep me on the edge of my seat, to cheer on my favorite team, or maintain my binge-watching streak. With Next Gen TV, I no longer need to worry about finding the perfect watch. Get exclusive originals, live sports, live channels, your favorite movies, series, and more. Next Gen TV, the ultimate way to watch TV.
You have the right to your life. It's clearly the most important right. If you don't have your life, you don't have nothing. You have a right to your freedom, to your liberty. You are entitled to the protection of the law. Every one of you, to every law we exist. The rule of law in our nation is that everybody is equal in the sight of the law and must be treated equally. You have to have freedom of movement. Anybody could jump in any boat, any bus, and go anywhere they want in this country. Nobody can stop and say, but you're from Corozal, where did you do? No. We are free to move any way we want to. We are free to exercise our conscience. You know how much people I meet that don't have no conscience? I think they're not sure that there's a word like conscience. You have a conscience, don't get confused. You have a God and you have a conscience.
This ad is brought to you by the People's Constitution Commission.
Make your summer better. Over $30,000 in cash and prizes with Smart Summer Sweepstakes. Here's how you can enter for a chance to win. Sign up for a smart postpaid, broadband, or VoIP plan. Use $100 or more regular prepaid credit. Do a SIM swap or text in to the shark code 786. In the body of the message, enter the number of entries you would like to purchase.
No waste no time. You can be the winner of weekly prizes. All methods give you more chances to win local airline tickets, overnight stays at numerous resorts, cash prizes, gift certificates, and much more. One lucky person will win the grand prize valued at $10,000, courtesy of Smart and the Belize Tourism Board.
Promotion ends September 15th. So make your summer better by getting in the race to win with Smart's Summer Sweepstakes. Smart, bringing people together.
Mr. David Gegg and Mr. Gulab Sharma are the owners of Portico. Mr. Gegg was almost jailed for not paying taxes.
Gegg's company, it is alleged, owes almost $250,000.
And Mr. Gulab's company was busted importing $1 million worth of fake Air Jordans. Gegg and Gulab say they will build a US $350 million magical port near Gales Point. Prime Minister John Briceño and his minister Chris Coye believe them. Do you?
Every year, World Environment Day is celebrated on June 5.
and the Department of the Environment within the Ministry of Sustainable Development, Climate Change and Disaster Risk Management joins the nation of Belize and other United Nations member countries in worldwide awareness and action to protect our environment, with this year's theme being to beat plastic pollution. We have seen the effects of climate change, now exacerbated by the effects of plastic pollution, primarily from single-use plastics. The Ministry, through the auspices of the Department of the Environment, has enacted the pollution from plastics regulation in 2020, noting that single-use plastics is of high environmental concern. This regulation sought to curb the environmental impacts associated with single-use plastics and to better promote green alternatives, which resulted in the development of national standards for biodegradable products.
The government of Belize, through the Department of Environment, has been controlling and enforcing these regulations to ensure that we protect Belize from the threats of plastic pollution. In so doing, nationwide market surveillance and product sampling has been conducted, resulting in enforcement actions which includes sale prohibition and confiscation of single-use plastics and styrofoam. The detrimental environmental impacts of single-use plastics are everyone's concern. The government calls upon all businesses, industries, civil societies, NGOs and you, the citizens of Belize, to have civic pride and to help in the fight against plastic pollution and to further contribute to the national efforts in transitioning to a circular economy. Together, we can beat plastic pollution. Happy World Environment Day.
Are you looking for low-cost television advertising? Have we got a deal for you? Advertise on Channel 5's Daily Classifieds. Channel 5's Daily Classifieds is one of the most effective methods for introducing yourself and your business to the community. Use our Daily Classifieds to recruit employees, promote specials, promote your products or services, promote a business opportunity, increase traffic to your website, and advertise items you have for sale. Let us help you to save valuable time and money. Call us today at 280-0013 or visit us at our offices on Coney Drive to discuss how we can help your business grow affordably. Channel 5's Daily Classifieds. Advertise today.
The emergence of the business process outsourcing (BPO) sector, which is expanding its employment base to over 8,000, is said to be generating tens of millions in foreign exchange and serving as a significant part of the economic boom in our country. That's one of the pronouncements that Cabinet made this week when it discussed what came out of the recent visit of IMF officials to Belize. It was noted that along with the BPOs, the construction industry and transformation of the tourism economy, where tourists are staying longer and spending more, have resulted in that economic growth. These improvements, according to the government, have also fueled a boom in wholesale and retail services. These realizations, the government maintains, are because the Belizean economy outperformed the projections of the IMF. A new initiative to develop what is called a people-centric conservation agenda for Belize's blue space has received the blessings of Cabinet. The initiative will be implemented through a program called Resilient Bold Belize, a project for finance performance for Belize's marine and coastal areas. This leverages government and private funding and supports large-scale, long-term conservation. The agenda will include a framework consisting of 3 key commitments for marine and coastal conservation. These include triple the full protection of the coral reef from 7 to 20% to identify the most suitable places to increase coral reef protection. secure domestic and international funding against a cost analysis to make Belize's vast marine protected area system among the best managed in the world. Several options have been explored on how to effectively address the overwhelming issue of sargassum washing up on the shores of Hamburger's Key, a prime tourism destination in the country. But what about using the seagrass as a source of renewable energy? It's an idea that was pitched to Prime Minister John Briceño during a trip to Germany. On Wednesday, Cabinet Secretary Stuart Leslie shared details of an upcoming initiative in which government is partnering with a company from Germany that will work on converting sargassum to energy.
That's actually an exciting project that started out when the Prime Minister and I were invited to Berlin in Germany over a year ago, where we met up with this German group called Verodin, and they have been looking at sargassum, the sargassum problem. They've worked in places in Europe, and they've also worked in the Dominican Republic, and they found out a lot about Belize, and they invited us to go to Berlin to say, look, we want to help Belize solve its sargassum problem. And they came to Belize last week, and they met with the Prime Minister. They met with Minister Mahler from the Ministry of Tourism, and they also, prior to that, met with Minister Misha Shabat. And so they came in to get a full picture. The engineer came in and showed the Prime Minister how they can turn sargassum into energy. So it's now becoming a waste to energy program. The first thing would be to try and build a plant on San Pedro Island. The idea is to collect sargassum offshore, so collect it on the sea, and then bring it into Belize doing a drying process, desalinate it, and then burn it and turn it into energy. And even whatever waste from that could be used to, say, substitute tar to tar the streets and so on. So this first project, which would generate enough electricity to keep San Pedro from getting blackouts, would cost about $50 million. And they've gotten investors interested, and they're looking for other partners. When the Prime Minister asked the engineer that's designing the project, how much is this going to cost Belizeans? His response was, all we need is the sargassum from the sea. So we're very excited about this program, and they're saying that they're going to be able to start by putting boats into the water by March 2024. So look out for what's coming. It would solve the problem of sargassum that we have, and at the same time be another source of clean energy and cheaper energy for Belize.
Cabinet Secretary Stuart Leslie also informed us of an upcoming summit on sustainable development that will see other member states within the United Nations learning about Belize's Blue Bond initiative, as well as other measures being taken by the country in the interest of sustainable development.
I can share with you that the request for the Prime Minister in the international community is, as a person who works with his schedule, is overwhelming me because of the amount of requests for the Prime Minister to speak and to address. He's been asked to give addresses from the Clinton Foundation to the United Nations to environmental groups. Everybody continues to want to hear about what Belize is doing in terms of our sustainable management, not just of the blue space, but of the green space. So for the blue economy as well as natural resources. And so on the 18th of September, there's this big summit in the United Nations on sustainable development, where the Prime Minister will participate on side of managing your resources in a way that it's going to add value and grow your economy. And then he's also being asked to to tell the story about the Blue Bond, what happened with the Blue Bond and what we're going to do. The Prime Minister is also excited to announce some of the partnerships, for example, with the TNC and others, who are looking at ways for us to see how we can reserve more of our ocean spaces for conservation methods, for conservation measures, but in a way that fisher folks and others can benefit from it. So those are the those are the events that we are expecting, at least 5 or 6 of them in 2 days, at 2 days of packed meetings at the United Nations.
Up next, Belial Art Gallery displays talents of Rachel Hughesner and son, Dean Martin.
Prime Minister John Briceño, you know that in April your Customs Department destroyed 2 containers of fake illegal Nike Air Jordans valued at $1 million. You know, those containers were consigned to a company owned by Mr. Gulab Sharma. You know that this is now on the radar of the United States government. You also know that Gulab Sharma's company, Portico, signed an illegal and fraudulent definitive agreement with Minister Erwin Contreras. Yet you and Chris Koyi are hell-bent on passing a special law that will give Gulab Sharma's company, Portico, tens of millions in tax benefits. Why, Prime Minister? If you won't explain it to the Belizean people, maybe you'll explain it to the Senate committee.
Make your summer better. Over $30,000 in cash and prizes with Smart Summer Sweepstakes. Here's how you can enter for a chance to win. Sign up for a smart postpaid, broadband, or VoIP plan. Use $100 or more regular prepaid credit. Do a SIM swap or text in to the short code 786. In the body of the message, enter the number of entries you would like to purchase.
No waste no time. You can be the winner of weekly prizes. All methods give you more chances to win local airline tickets, overnight stays at numerous resorts, cash prizes, gift certificates, and much, much more. One lucky person will win the grand prize valued at $10,000, courtesy of Smart and the Belize Tourism Board.
Promotion ends September 15th. So make your summer better by getting in the race to win with Smart's Summer Sweepstakes. Smart, bringing people together.
The Let Belize Live speeches of the premier traveling exhibition is in Belize City. The exhibition was first launched at the George Price Center for Peace and Development. The exhibition has since been unveiled in Dangriga and Punta Gorda. Today, the exhibition was launched at the Museum of Belize in Belize City, where it will be on display for the next month.
I think all Belizeans will appreciate that the life and legacy of George Price is inextricably linked to our September celebrations, National Day, Independence. Obviously, George Price's footprints and fingerprints are all over these national celebrations. So we think of him all the time, but particularly during this month of celebrations. And so this exhibition, traveling exhibition that we launched in January of this year, we launched it at the George Price Center for Peace and Development in January. It's a traveling exhibition. We've been to Punta Gorda and we've been to Dangriga, and now we have it here in Belize City at the Museum of Belize. And it's all about, you know, sharing with the Belizean people the writings, the speeches of the premier, because these are speeches given when before independence, when George Price was the premier of Belize during his fight for self-government and independence. So it's critically important. It's great to see the young students here today from primary school and high school who, you know, were born obviously long after independence. So it's important for us to promote and preserve this great history and to share it with these young people and to share it with researchers. So I think it's a great event. It's made even more significant today because for the first time as a part of the exhibition, we have the instruments of independence. You know, obviously it's a birth certificate for our country. And this document was you know, locked away for 42 years in a drawer, really, in the office of the clerk of the National Assembly. No fault of anyone, just everyone felt that that was perhaps the safekeeping, it would be preserved there. But the truth is that it does belong in the National Archives and Records Service. And so we were very happy that through the initiative of the Speaker of the House, the President of the Senate, working along with the Belize Archives, we were able to sign an MOU that the actual instruments which are on display here today would be handed over to the archives for permanent keeping.
Rachel Huchner has been a household name for many years for the many art exhibitions that she has mounted. The celebrated artist spent many of those years in Trinidad, where she also honed her skills and produced many pieces depicting natural scenes. Known also as an art teacher, Rachel has put together a collection of historical pieces and, along with her son, Dean Martin, has mounted yet another of her exhibitions where you can also make purchases. The exhibition is part of an effort to revive the Belial Art Gallery and host displays from other Belizean artists. News 5's Marion Ali reports.
The wide-ranging pieces of paintings depicting historical parts of Belize City, done by renowned Belizean artist Rachel Huchner, juxtaposed by smaller ones by her son, Dean Martin, portraying tranquil fishing scenes, are on display currently at the Bliss Center for the Performing Arts Belial Art Gallery. The collection was carefully put together by the artists.
Recently, I've been focusing a lot on like historical style pieces, things that represent Belize in the olden days and so on. So I have a bunch of stuff like that, like the old market, the bridge. I hear the bridge is going to be changed very soon. There's that old triangle building. When you come off the bridge, it's gone, you know, and there's so much memories that people have. So, and then with the advent of social media, a lot of my clients are all over the world. And they miss Belize, so when they see these things, you know, it strikes a chord for them and they just love it.
Huchner says she uses colors to deliberately create the mood in her paintings.
I like to have the paint and whatever it is just kind of happen, you know, to whatever rhythm of the moment.
Okay. Does it ever depict your mood?
I don't think so.
You don't transfer it today?
If it happens, it happens. But I'm always working. And like I was telling one of the other commentators that inspiration have to find you working. You know, so while you're working on a piece, it may come out a little bit melancholy or it may come out a little bit happier. It depends on the kind of colors that you use. You create that mood, and it could be very, very intentional.
Huchner shared that her son, Dean Martin, still a shy teen, has also come to embrace his art career.
My son just turned 18 the other day, and he never really wanted to be any artist, you know. He always said, "Mommy, you're never sure when you're going to make $1 from that." But he just woke up one day and says, "I better stop fighting it," and started painting.
The artists are among the first whose works will be featured at the Belial Art Gallery in this revival effort to keep the gallery flooded, according to the director of ICA, Kim Vasquez.
We are trying this year, especially being it's the 20th anniversary of Niche. One of our initiatives is to really encourage and have more art exhibits and events hosted at the Belial Gallery. And so we're very pleased that Rachel Huchner is here in country at home. She's one of our most renowned visual artists. And the wonderful thing is that her son, Dean Martin, has followed in what we say artist footsteps and is also now painting as well. And so this is a mother and son joint exhibit.
The mother and son exhibition will be on display until the end of this month. Reporting for News 5, I'm Marion Ali.
On Wednesday night, 25 men and women were formally recognized by the government of Belize during the annual tribute to Belizean patriots. Some of those individuals were honored posthumously, including the late Gwendolyn Lizarraga. Tonight, we share a montage of all the honorees who were present at the ceremony and make up the class of 2023.
Belize, 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 Eviva, 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 Belize, Eviva.
And that's the news. Tonight's broadcast is available at channel5belize.com, on our Facebook and on YouTube. I'm Sabrina Daly. Thanks for joining us, and from all of us here at News 5, good night.